What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel. Check out the content. And today, I want to speak on how I think like the WNBA is like they're doing some things to self sabotage. Like on the one hand, they say they want to grow the league. They want to make more money, they want to be more popular and all this other stuff. But then you see, you see them do things that wouldn't that don't help the growth of the league, and one person that I think I have a couple examples from what's the young lady name? Kelsey Plum, right? Um, she was at a game. She was at a game, and I think a kid had on like a fever he had on a fever jersey, right? And he and she told the kid, she criticized the kid and told the kid to do better, right? Now, the fact that the kid was at the game supporting, whether he was supporting, her team is the Sparks, the Los Angeles Sparks. It don't matter. You had the kid in there supporting the game, supporting, the WNBA, and she told him to do better. And I think that is an example of somebody who just don't know how to read the room, just don't know how. Basically, she just don't get it, right? And so I'm gonna play for you another example of how she don't get it. I think, in my opinion, I think like the WNBA is definitely on the upswing. You got people that who really excited about watching them play. But people not it's going to be a turnoff to fans if WNBA players treat their fans disrespectfully. And this is not the first time that Kelsey Plum, in my opinion, has said something and done something to said something to a fan that I just thought was, it was unappreciative. And basically, I thought it was not just unappreciative, but she just I don't know. She just don't get it. She just don't get it. And so I'm gonna play this clip right here from what is this from? This is a Fox Radio, and basically they talk about how the WNBA is getting in their own way and self sabotaging too with these type of actions. And here we go with Kelsey Plum. Let me see.
Getting their own way more than the WNBA. Like someone, man or woman, being given an opportunity, you keep getting in your way. I think we've all worked with someone like that. Like the boss likes it. Your path is great, and they F up. Like
tripping on their own shoelaces.
Yeah, like I feel like the WNBA, someone needs to tie their shoes because they keep tripping over their own feet. Whether it's, not embracing Caitlin Clark, making it seem like the fighting on the court isn't secretly a good thing. Pushing aside rivalries, making things about race when they shouldn't be about race. It should be about the
starting
game.
with all the money stuff.
And making silly arguments as to why the money should be more. Everything about the WNBA is getting in its own way. And I just saw one other clip to explain why I feel this way. Kelsey Plum, super talented athlete, one of the faces of the league, attractive, cool. Everyone likes Kelsey Plum. She's greeted by people wanting her autograph.
The bus was right here.
Right. Don't you find that kind of weird? Low key? Like low key. Come on.
A little, but
Okay.
I'm
really turned off right now.
I'm just a fan.
I know. I appreciate that.
You sign one, you put my name on
I'll
it.
sign one.
If I get you on that one.
She's calling him low-key weird and saying that he's creepy for wanting an autograph.
I think she's high-key misreading the situation. What's the big deal? You have fans. That comes with the territory. She wasn't being stalked in a weird
I
way.
think it's wild to think that if someone was seeking out autographs and pictures of a WNBA star, isn't that just showing that, oh, wow, maybe the WNBA is headed in the right direction, that people care? Bro, I think autograph seekers are honestly some of the lamest losers on planet Earth. If you're a grown man seeking autographs outside a hotel, outside a tour bus, outside a player's bus, adults that want autographs are weenies to the highest degree. But the simple fact that she is in a position where people want this stuff from her, she should almost embrace.
All right. So, in my opinion, now I didn't show the video, right? But the guy who was out there, it looked like he may have had a scrapbook that may have been for like a kid, like his daughter or his son. Like they collect autographs and stuff like that, right? So I wouldn't even go as far as to call that guy weird or okie. It could be a father doing that for like one of his kids. So I don't think that's weird. Or even if he was doing it for himself, people in long as he not out there stalking her or trying or doing anything to harm her. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't seek autographs or I don't even want to take pictures with people like that. But that's just me. But I don't knock people for doing what they do, right? But for her to say that, for her to say, that's kind of weird, that's kind of okie, again, it's just not a good look. Why? When you have somebody who's supporting you, like I never, like as a fan, I watch on TV. I watch basketball on TV, but I would not stand outside of a hotel or any facility and wait for a athlete to come out, even if it was Michael Jordan, and wait for no signature. So she needs to appreciate the fact that he's the kind of fan that will go that extra mile and do that. She may not even be the kind of fan who would wait for somebody's signature herself. But like the guy said, you have to lean into that. When you have people who support you like that, it's self-sabotaging to call this guy weird and okie when he's standing outside a tour bus, outside a facility to ask her for an autograph. I think that if she was like, you know, if she was at dinner with family or something like that, and you go up to her table, I think that's impolite. I've heard about fans doing stuff like that. You out with your family and you trying to enjoy some family time or something like that, and somebody interrupt your meal. I think that's impolite. But she's going into a place to play basketball. You know, and this kind of they got to be more like these basketball players have to be more you know self-aware or more just use more common sense than that. Calling a guy okie because he wants to get your autograph, you know and she is, in my opinion, she one of the better basketball players in the WNBA. I think although they're not having a good season this year for the Sparks, but they played to watch the Sparks. The Sparks play a very entertaining style of basketball, and I like watching the Sparks. I like watching Kelsey Plum. I like Kelsey Plum when she was with the Aces, and they won their 2 championships. But now I know that if I see her on the street, I can't tell her that I appreciate her game. I can't tell her that, you know what I mean, like keep up the good work or nothing like that, because she'll call me weird or she'll say I'm okie. I don't even know what okie mean, but it may not, it's probably not nothing good, right? But I can't even do that because she's gonna think I'm weird or okie and all this other stuff, man. So, and that's what happens. People, if you don't like, what do they call it, like positive reinforcement, like if somebody's doing something that you like or something that benefits you got to give positive reinforcement or they're going to stop doing it. And that goes for business relationships, personal relationships, and she don't have no idea of like what positive reinforcement is. She's sitting up there calling this man names and he asking for an autograph. Like I said, I didn't show the video, but the book looked like something. It was a scrapbook or something that he probably had for one of his kids, and that's probably another reason why he allowed her to call, to say, you okie or you weird, because it probably wasn't for him. If it was for him, who knows? He may as well say, the hell with it. Forget you. I'm not supporting you. But and Kelsey Plum is not the first female basketball player that I've seen who did something like this to somebody who wanted to support their league. I made I think I made a video about Asia Wilson did the same thing. you know, to a NBA basketball player who wanted to support their league, and she told him no thanks, right? So I'm like, you know, yeah, man, these WNBA players, man, need to make up their mind. You know, if do you want your league to be a success or what? You know, or I guess they just want you to support them in the way they want to be supported. You know, it's not about the fans or anything like that. But man, I just think they self-sabotage and they cheat themselves when they do stuff like this, man. And I don't get it. I don't get why they do stuff like this. Um, that's my take on it. Let me know how y'all feel about it, though. Do you think you know it was cool for her to call this guy weird or okie? When, if anything, like I said, she should have been patting him on the back, because I don't even think that the book that she autographed didn't even look like it was for a man. It looked like it was probably for a kid. So he's standing out there in the rain for a kid, man. So if anything, this guy needs to be, you know, needs to have a pat on the back instead of called weird. You know, that's she's, you know, she's the weird one. But in that situation, she's the weird one. But yeah, man, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this, and you know how you feel about WNBA players doing things to self-sabotage the success that they have. They, you know, treat all of us like peasants, man. If you like what they do, they treat you like a peasant. Like I said, make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.